I hate intros. Haikyuu Season 2. We kick things off right after the loss to Aoba Josai, and everybody is back to training. Tanaka comes in to let everybody know that they are planning on going to Tokyo to attend a training camp. The camp is held by the Fukurodani Academy, and only a couple of select schools are invited. Nekoma is in the group and luckily got Karasuno in the camp as well. Later, while out exercising, Hinata and Kageyama got lost and end up running into Ushijima from Shida Torizawa Academy. Things get a little tense when he doesn't acknowledge them as a threat, so Hinata flexes a little and they vow to beat him. Everybody is also trying to ignore the fact that final exams are coming up, but they need to do well in order to go to Tokyo. Episode 2. All of the first years are trying their best to get their grades up before the trip to Tokyo. Meanwhile, the third years are going to be gone after this year, so Kyoko is trying to find a first year to replace her as manager. She is able to recruit Hitoka Yachi, who is shy and kind of intimidated by how intense the players are. Luckily, Hitoka is in advanced classes, so she helps Hinata and Kageyama with their studies. In the last scene, we also find that Tanaka also accepted a last-minute practice match against Oganishi High School. Episode 3. Oganishi is no match as they lose to Karasuno 25-16 in the second set. Hitoka is still trying to decide if she wants to become an official manager as she is still just in a trial run. Her mom says not to do it if she can't match their passion, which makes her hesitate, but after talking with Hinata about it, he convinces her to tell her mom how she feels. She is able to break her timid persona and confidently tells her mom that she is going to be joining as the manager. Episode 4. Everybody arrives in Tokyo to start the training camp. Well, almost everybody. Hinata and Kageyama had failed, so they have to attend supplementary exams for part of the first day of camp. They finish early, and Ryunosuke's sister, Sako Tanaka, gives them a ride to Tokyo. Meanwhile, Karasuno try their best to keep up without their power duo, and we meet the other teams participating. We have Ubagawa High School, who are known for delivering some unstoppable serves. Next is Shinsen High School, who have very strong synchronized attacks. Of course, Karasuno's rival, Nekoma High, and their new player from the OVA, Lev Haiba, who is becoming a real threat. Last, we have Fukurodani Academy, who are one of the stronger teams in Tokyo, and their ace, Kotaro Bokuto, is in the top 5 aces in the nation. Karasuno had lost 9 sets in a row on the first day, but once Hinata and Kageyama arrived, they turned things around, winning the last set against Shinsen. Episode 5. The next day, their first match is against Nekoma, where Hinata's insane quick gets shut down by Lev. He wants to continue getting stronger and decides the best way to do that is to open his eyes during the free quick. Up until this point, he would just close his eyes and Kageyama would put the ball where it needed to be so that he could spike it. If he is able to open his eyes, he could accurately aim the ball. The problem is how fast the quick happens, which doesn't leave him much time to react. Everybody seems to be against this idea as it will be hard to learn and the spring prelims are just around the corner. They leave the camp but will be returning one last time during summer break. When they get back to Karasuno, Hinata tries to learn how to implement his idea into his play but fails and ends up getting into a fight with Kageyama. Episode 6. With Hinata feeling like he's hit a roadblock in his practice, Keishin takes him to get guidance from his grandfather and coach of the Little Giant, Ike Ukai. He tells Hinata that he's going to have to learn how to hit different kinds of quicks at different tempos. Meanwhile, Keishin wants Kageyama to learn how to set the ball so that its momentum dies out right as it enters Hinata's strike range. They aren't the only ones working though. Nishinoya noticed Aoba Josai's libero was also doing sets when Oikawa couldn't, so he wants to learn how to do that too. Both Asahi and Yamaguchi are working on their serves to become more of a threat in that aspect. Episode 7. They head back to Tokyo and face Fukurodani Academy again. There are some serious changes going on in the team with everybody trying to implement what they've been learning. It's still pretty scuffed, but the evolution of the team is apparent to everyone. The only one who doesn't appear to be working that hard is Tsukishima, and they wonder if it has something to do with his older brother who played with the Little Giant. Episode 8. This episode revolves around Tsukishima, and we learn that his brother tried really hard to get better and become a starter at Karasuno. Even with all the effort he put in, he wasn't good enough to become a starter and was ashamed because of this. Tsukishima is scared of ending up like his brother, so he doesn't try as hard, not seeing incentive to. He asks some of the other players why they are so determined, and some choice words from Kotaro ignites his determination to improve. Episode 9. The new toss is still not working out, and Karasuno is getting obliterated in the majority of their matches. practice. Kageyama decides to practice by himself, so Hinata goes to practice with Kotaro. He learns a lot about not just powering through defenders, but instead using feints and wipes to out-finesse them. The next day, we see the match wins for the teams, with Fukurodani leading the pack, only losing 14 out of 64 matches. Karasuno have one more match against Fukurodani before the camp comes to a close, so they are determined to make it a good one. Episode 10. Finally, the hard work that Karasuno had been putting into their new playstyles is starting to bear fruit. Everything from synchronized attacks, Asahi serves, sets from Nishinoya, it's all improving at an insane rate. For the first time, Kageyama and Hinata nail the new quick, stunning everybody. However, this was only one time, and the next attempt fails miserably. As the match is kept close, Kotaro starts to lose his cool and plays worse, eventually going into his infamous emo mode. Episode 11. Fukurodani are used to playing around the Ace's emo mode, so they pick up the pace to give him time to recover. This takes the attention off of him, and he comes out of nowhere to score the winning point, ending the final match of the camp 25-23 in favor of Fukurodani. Once back from Tokyo, we take a look at the prelims, where Karasuno have to win 2 games in order to go to the qualifiers for nationals. The qualifiers will decide the representative of the Miyagi Prefecture, which is their main goal. Episode 12. The day of the prelims arrive, and Karasuno have their first match against Ogi Minami. Of course, they're not gonna lose to some random team that came out of nowhere. It's pretty filler-esque, and they win in the second set, with the score being 25-13. Their second match is against Kakugawa High, and basically they have a really tall dude named Yudai Hyakuzawa. Episode 13. Hyakuzawa proves to be a thorn in their side after he scores over their block and shuts down Hinata's feint. Although he's tall, that's really the only thing he has going for him, as he lacks technique and experience. Karasuno get all their techniques rolling, and Hinata wins the second set with a wipe, which is where he purposely hits the defender's hand to score off of the bounce. Episode 14. They made it through the prelims, so now everybody is training for the qualifiers. Tsukishima goes to practice with his brother against older, stronger opponents to learn how to defend against someone bigger than you like Hyakuzawa. We get a look at Aoba Josai as they get a returning member, Kentaro Kiyotani, who's like Kageyama in the sense that he's really good but has poor team skills. Meanwhile, Karasuno head back to Tokyo to practice more with Nekoma and the other schools, cueing a training montage. We're gonna go ahead and jump past the montage to the first day of the qualifiers, where Karasuno squares off against Jozenji High in the first round. Episode 15. As the match starts, it becomes apparent that what makes Jozenji strong is their unpredictability, making it hard to know where the attacks are coming from. They have a very lighthearted approach to the game and just seem to be having fun and goofing around. After losing the first set and falling behind in the second set, Jozenji still don't take things too seriously. Their manager Hana Misaki has to step in and for the first time tries to make that crazy teen concentrate. This seems to be effective, and the team takes on a new form. Episode 16. Jozenji seem to be reinvigorated and give Karasuno a run for their money. They stop trying to block Hinata to instead try to receive the spike, giving him the opportunity to practice his accuracy. Even though they try to make a comeback, Jozenji still can't compare to Karasuno, so they lose in the end, advancing Karasuno to the quarterfinals. The next match finishes and Wakutani South advances, meaning that's who Karasuno is going to be playing. Jump to the second day, where the match starts and their captain Nakashima stays calm in the face of their new quick, answering back with points of his own. This is turning into a battle of the captains, but in the last scene, Daichi gets hurt after diving for a ball. Episode 17. While going for the ball, Daichi had collided with Ryunosuke and is forced to go to the infirmary by the coaches. He's replaced by Chikara Inoshita, and if you don't remember him, that's fine because neither did I. He's no Daichi, but he does well enough, and it turns into a side character appreciation episode when Yamaguchi is brought in also as the pinch server. His first serve almost fails as it hits the net, but barely makes it over, bringing them to match point. For the second serve, he pansies out and doesn't do his jumping serve, while also freezing under the pressure when the ball comes to him. Even though they win off of the play, he is yelled at for not giving it his all. Episode 18. They are still stuck with the budget captain while Daichi is recovering, and they lose the second set because of this. In the third set, Inoshita makes a big play and seems to be more comfortable after that. It comes right down to the wire, but Karasuno are able to pull out the win despite their captain being AFK. After the match, both Inoshita and Yamaguchi recognize that they need to train harder to keep up with everybody else. Now everyone watches as Date Tech takes on Aoba Josai to decide who Karasuno plays next.
どっちだろうな。
Episode 19. Date Tech is experimenting with a new setter named Kanji Koganagawa, which isn't going so well. Although their offense is struggling, the Iron Wall defense still stands strong. They lose the first set and continue struggling in the second set. On match point, the Aoba Josai ace Hajime Iwaizumi punches a hole straight through the Iron Wall, winning the match. This means that Katasuno get their rematch against Aoba Josai and Oikawa. Episode 20. Katasuno have a much easier time dealing with Aoba Josai this time around, fixing a lot of mistakes they made in the past game against them. It's neck and neck throughout the entire first set, with each side countering the other's tactics. When Katasuno gets to match point, Aoba Josai brings in their returning member, Kentaro. On the next play, Kentaro knocks one of his teammates out of the way, but lets loose a fierce spike that catches everybody off guard. Episode 21. Luckily, the killer spike was out, so Katasuno win the first set, but at the start of the second set, Kentaro is starting. On the first play, he runs parallel to the net to get an insane cut past the defenders. Kentaro is the embodiment of a double-edged sword, sometimes failing miserably, but working enough to put Katasuno behind. They bring in Sugawara, and he targets Kentaro with his serve, so he can't be the one to spike. They catch onto this pretty fast and adjust, so the next curveball that Keishin wants to try to break their momentum is to put in Yamaguchi. Episode 22. Yamaguchi had been working on his serve constantly, and now that he is controlling his nerves better, he is nailing them every time. His serves catch them all the way back up, tying both teams at 23. The two teams trade points back and forth until eventually Oikawa's nasty serves tips the scales, allowing Aoba Josai to win the set 28-26. With each team having taken a set, they head into the third and final set to decide the match and who goes on to the finals. Episode 23. As the third set progresses along, Ryunosuke starts to get inside Kentaro's head, knocking him off his game. It even gets to the point where Kentaro is benched to let him rest and calm down. One of his teammates, Shigeru Yahaba, sets Kentaro straight to get him back in the game. He's back to operating at full capacity, but the same can be said about the deadly duo who still aren't letting up. Episode 24. Again, the third set is super close, ending up getting tied at 20. They bring in Yamaguchi for the second time in hopes that he can repeat his success on his previous serves. He hits a really good serve that almost messes up Kentaro again, but they manage to save it and shut out any more possible serves. Oikawa's serves, on the other hand, are still getting through and bring Aoba Josai to match point at 24-22. The captain of Katasuno, Daichi, steps up and manages to put a stop to Oikawa's serve, keeping him in the game. At 23-24, they put in Sugawara, who makes some big plays, followed up by Kageyama scoring, putting Katasuno at match point at 25-24. The last volley is a long one, with both sides making clutch saves, but in the end, Hinata is the one to put it away and ends Aoba Josai's run in the qualifiers. This also marks the first time that Kageyama had beat his old upperclassman mentor. Episode 25. Katasuno is now in the finals, where they will have to go against the defending champs in Shiratorizawa Academy. When they get back to school, a bunch of the students are waiting to congratulate them, including Daichi's waifu. What better way to end a long day of volleyball than with some more volleyball? The duo's practice gets interrupted, and they are forced to go home to get some rest because tomorrow everything will be decided in the finals. I'm gonna be doing the future seasons, and that'll be in the bottom left whenever I'm finished with it, or you can check out all the Haikyuu recaps in this playlist here. You can also find the links in the description below, and the only thing I hate more than intros is outros.